I'm so excited to be starting with the Holiday Paint Inlay, Gloria. And I love so many of the elements in here, but one in particular really stood out to me. And it's this piece that has this really precious angelic composition. And that's what we're going to use for this project. I'm starting with a 12-inch by 16-inch board. And I'm going to actually be using it in the portrait position. I only have it in landscape right now because that's just easier for me to fit on camera. With DIY paint in White Swan, and then I'm going to use a little bit of gravel road around the edges just to give it that aged look. I dried that initial coat, and now I'm going to just spin my board around, and I'm only going to be concerned about this top section because I'm going to work on the inlay now. So the painted side goes down, and everybody does their inlays a little bit differently, but this is what I have found works for me. Basically, I just got my base color on there. Now what I'm going to focus on is putting the paint on for the purposes of applying my inlay. For optimal results, you want to make sure that you put your inlay into a really wet surface. So I'm going to start by adding white paint. I'm going to use the same white that I used for my base coat. And you don't want to draw out your paint. You want to make sure that you get a nice, good coat of paint on there. And I only need to paint the part where the inlay is going to actually go, which is this top section. And to make sure that it's nice and wet everywhere. If I have a section that's not wet, the paint won't transfer. I'm just going to spritz it with water. And now I know that I'm ready for my inlay. So I want to line it up. The grid lines make that really easy to do. And then I'm going to smooth it out while I lay it down. You're going to get a little bit of wrinkling, but that just adds to the character. Now to make sure that I get good adhesion, I'm going to use a blue shop cloth. And I'm going to smooth it out. I'm focusing on making sure I have really good contact wherever there's paint with my surface. Then I'll take my brayer and I'll just make sure that it's rolled on there. Then to coax the paint from the other side of the paper, I just spritz it with water. Some people use a damp rag. And I smooth that in. Now I just take that same blue shop cloth and dry my paper. And then I take my heat gun and I dry it. You'll notice that the paper is starting to appear like grayed out. That's how I know that the carrier sheet is dry. So this side's pretty dry and that side still has a little bit ways to go. So now everything's pretty well grayed out. My paper isn't totally dry, and that's okay. I'm ready to go ahead and pull it off. So I'll just spritz it with water. And that's an important step. You don't want to skip this step. Otherwise, you'll pull your image off with the carrier sheet. And then I just work the water in. And I'll go ahead and pull it back. That transferred beautifully. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry this. This step is really important. That paint in the inlay is not set until you seal it. You don't want to brush on water-based sealer because that's going to make the paint run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it with Rust-Oleum matte sealer. You want to make sure that you use this in a well-ventilated area, but this is a staple with my craft tools. So I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to give it a quick coat, and then we will move on. I think my favorite thing from this release are the tapers molds. These are from the Christmas Tapers, and there are 4 different images, but I really thought with the complexity of the image at the top that I would just use the star taper, and I'm going to stagger them at different heights. And dangle them off of that image. So that's where we're going now. I want to add a little bit of interest to the part where I'm going to place the ornaments. So I'm going to take that same Gravel Road paint that I blended into the background, and I'm going to use this stencil that has music notes on it. I'll put the link to the stencil in comments, but the snowflake stamp would look beautiful here too. I just don't have mine yet. So I'm going to take a little bit of paint and I'm going to just swirl in this background. I don't want it to be real pronounced, so I'm offloading my brush. Now when I move it, to make sure that my spacing is right, I'm going to lay one stanza over one that I've already stenciled, and that will help me get the spacing right. So I also want to add the words. The words are on the bottom, and so I will just line that up. To tone that down and send it more in the background, I'm going to do a wash of the same colors that I used for the background. So some of the white swan, and I want quite a bit of water. before I go any further, I'm going to seal it with Big Top. It's a really nice top coat. It dries quickly and it has enough sheen to it that I'm able to wipe back anything that I might want to put over the top of it fairly easily. So I played around with finishes on the Christmas Tapers, and I knew that I wanted to use the star. I love the snowflake too. So I tried these 3 different finishes, and the one on the left is the one that I'm actually going to use, but I wanted to show you the other 2. So this is one of the tapers poured in resin with bonding primer, then a coat of white swan paint. I let that dry. Then I used a wash of layered chocolate and wiped that back. So the white swan is an important step because otherwise when you wipe back, you don't get a clean white finish on the part that you're revealing. On this one, I use Dazzling Aluminum Metallic by Paint Couture and Pale Gold Metallic, and I really loved this. But I thought that this finish was like a great combination of the 2. So that's the one that we're going to use. So I'm going to set those aside. And what I've done with these is I've done bonding primer and white swan, and I've let that dry. So now I've got some layered chocolate, and I'm going to use a lot of water so that I can get a wash. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry these. And I'm going to take a wet baby wipe and I'm going to take Pale Gold Metallic paint, and I'm going to paint just the stars. The last step for these is I'm going to add this Black Chiffon Glaze by Paint Couture, and it's a muted black glaze. So it gives you the perfect amount of shadowing without really coloring your entire piece. And that's what this one has on it. So that's what I need to do to these 2. Now I'm ready to tie it all together. So I painted the sides of the board black, and I take my brush and I run it along the edge so I get a little bit of that black paint coming onto the surface. Now I'm going to take a baby wipe and blend that edge. glue these in place, I'm going to heat them up first. That way they'll be a little bit pliable and I can get them where I want them. I'm not going to be concerned about what the middle of the board is. This is the center one, but I'm going to want to line it up with the bottom of the inlay. So that's going to be important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to heat this up. I like to use tight bend, quick and thick. And I'm going to want to hold that in place. Any of the glue that comes out, I'm just going to take a brush and wipe that off. My board's sealed, so I don't have to worry about anything smearing. And I'm going to repeat this process for the other two. So I've got this rhinestone chain that I bought years ago on eBay, and I'm going to use that for the string. So I'm going to cut that and glue it in place, and I will use E6000 to glue that in place.